try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. A line of scrimmage once again, the 5, as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Stafford. The quick slant caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Zach Miller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Whoa! He just yanked that one well to the left and no good. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up a line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here?
Now let's go!
The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Gone!
Throwing here, Lynch on 1st down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Over!
They run it with Balazs. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Parker, the intended target. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now it's Stafford. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. A gain of 39 that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Johnson. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Hey, 22! 11, 11! Zero!
Stafford on first down. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And to give this time to the tailback. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So they decline it, as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
On the return comes Drake. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And with 3 entered, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Lynch. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble. Nope.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Looking to throw on second down. Lynch going deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. Parker unable to get that one.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run it with Johnson. Flexing his muscle at the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. The completion to Riddick. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Right. Set. 180. Let's go. Keep tighten up. Let's go. Keep tighten up.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Detroit, it's a much-needed victory as it 4 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Miami, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.